Alright gang, welcome back to our Vintage Survival here on Szpakowo. It is still September. Number of jobs here remaining for us to do. One of those, which we're going to start with here, is the straw on this field here. So that way we have the ability to get it prepped to re-drill. We've also got to do quite a number of spraying jobs today. And the worker is still in the process of completing where we left off in the last episode of drilling of the one field that had some straw in it as well that we were taking care of. So, how's everyone doing today? I hope you're all doing well. Things are pretty good here, man, all things considered. So, a lot of people that were relatively upset that this series is going to be coming to a close soon. And I'm with you. It is a little sad to end it, but it is time, I think, as I've mentioned a couple of the episodes back. I do believe it is time to move on to something else. It will be another survival type of series that is going to be replacing this, unless something drastic changes between now and then. But there will be another survival series that will take this place, and I think you'll enjoy it. It won't be a vintage survival, but it will be a survival nonetheless. So we'll see. And this will be back soon enough, I assure you. And when I say this, it won't be this specific series, but a vintage survival series, if you will. We'll be back very, very soon. It was a lot of fun, a lot more fun than I actually thought I was going to have with it. Now, having said that, vintage equipment is probably my favorite farming equipment. So I probably should have known better that I was going to enjoy it as much as I did. But yeah, so we'll be doing another vintage survival series very, very soon on a different map in the near future. The survival series that is going to be taking the place of this one, at least my initial thought and vision for that is around 30 episodes. Now, having said that, this series, really, I had the same vision, right? It was supposed to be around 30 episodes, ended up being, where, 71 or whatever it is now? 72? I don't know, somewhere around in there. I forget the exact number we're at, but a lot. One of the longest series that I have running on the channel by far. So it's been a lot of fun. But we accomplished everything we kind of set out to accomplish at this point. There are some new maps that have been installed, have been uploaded onto ModHub that I'm very, very interested in checking out, and a couple of those I think would be a perfect fit for a series like this. So that's likely where we'll go next, is figuring out what map is going to be best for another vintage survival type of series. How's everyone doing? I hope you're all doing well. Things are, like I said, pretty good here, man, all things considered. Yeah, we're moving along nicely here. Now, I don't know how many bales we're going to get out of this field specifically, but whatever we do get, we will put directly into our straw hat production there. Don't think I have anything else specifically to talk about on this series. Just kind of cleaning everything up and finishing up the odd ends here and getting some stuff re-drilled. There's only 2 more fields that need to be harvested, and that is our sunflower field and our corn field. And those should be happening here, I think, next month, right? Next month is it next month? Next month is sunflowers, and next month should be corn as well. I don't remember if we planted... I don't think we did. I think we planted sunflower in one month and corn the other month, I think. I might be incorrect on that, so don't hold me to that. Don't yell at me too much, but I think that's what we did. So yeah, really 2 harvests left to go, and then just tie up some more loose odd ends here, and we'll be done with this series. So bittersweet for sure, but it was a lot of fun, man. It was a lot of fun, this series. Now, what I'm probably going to end up doing is, at least for December, more than likely, I'll probably start at least thinking about, what map we could utilize for a, Season 2 or a second series of this, or whatever we want to word it, however we want to call it. To be completely honest with you, up until this point, I've only I mean, I've never, besides the competitive one-tile challenge, which is, you know, still the one-tile challenge, but it's kind of modified to have a competitive nature to it. But up until this point, I really haven't, you know, besides maybe just a survival challenge type of thing, starting with no money, you know, and a couple pieces of equipment. Besides that, I really haven't, you know, done a whole lot of series where I do like a different, you know, season for it, a series 2 or whatever, right? I haven't done anything like that, so I don't really know how I will go about it. And what I mean by that specifically is, do I kind of have a continuation, or in theory a continuation of it? And what I mean by that specifically is, do I say this, you know, the amount of money we start with at the beginning is kind of a continuation from this series, or do we just kind of start over at the beginning, like we did for this one, right, where we have, you know, no money at all, but we do start with a lot of equipment, so it's not specifically like a challenge of any sort, right? I don't know. I'm not sure which way to go about that. It's something I have to think about, and I have to kind of play around with, and but I guess what I was trying to get at is my members probably will get a little bit of that in their members series for December, more than likely. I'll probably be playing around with that a little bit. I'm not specifically sure if I'll actually have, you know, a map up and kind of going through, you know, the process of getting things going, but probably at least talk about it in detail, and some of the thoughts that I've kind of come up with over the last month, right? So that's something on my mind, is to do that, because, you know, this has been a relatively successful series. A lot of people seem to enjoy it. Wasn't my most successful series by any means, but it definitely has been successful, and I think it was one of my more enjoyed series specifically, personally. So that's, you know, another reason why it's high on my list to do another one of in the near future. But as I've mentioned to my members a number of times, and I'm sure I've mentioned it to all of you at some point as well in the past, my head is full of random challenge type of ideas, or just ideas in general, for this game. I've got about 20 or so actually wrote down on paper, of different ideas that I have for this game, and different challenges and different series, and etc., etc. So I know I'd like to try to get to a couple of those, right? And I'll be fully transparent with you. The one that is going to replace this one is one that I actually just recently came up with, and there's nothing really crazy specifically to it. Maybe it's a bit of a spoiler, but there's not really anything crazy to it. But it is definitely one that I've wanted to do for a while, and I wanted to try. So we're going to give it a shot. And like I said, if it doesn't do as well, then, you know, we'll keep it somewhere around the 30 episode range, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. But if it ends up doing well, I would think we're at least going to hit 30 on that. So we'll start the stones back up, get them turned into lime, get that going. The worker did finish the job of re-drilling. Well, I guess re-drilling does work in this instance. Re-drilling the field up there. And we need to bring that worker back here and start drilling this field now that that's done. Now, this worker's probably going to run into a few issues, so we're probably going to have to do a couple headland passes for them. But they're probably going to run into some issues because of the fence work that I put in. As you saw, the worker with doing the harvesting was running into the issues with this fence as well. It's a little unfortunate. In hindsight, I would have put the fence going this way with the road here. But for some reason, I thought they would go the other way. But I guess when you look at the field itself a little bit closer, it definitely is a little bit wider going the way we're facing now versus the way that, you know, facing the sheds here, right? So I guess it kind of makes sense that is the way that the GPS would want the worker to go. But, you know, what are you going to do, right? What are you going to do? Before we do all that, though, let's do a little bit of our normal maintenance type of work, as I like to call it, which is moving some stuff around. We've got a tiny bit of honey here, man. It doesn't make sense to me how little honey we are making, considering how much money I spent on those beehives that I put down. I mean, there is a plethora of beehives down there, and we just are not making anything from a honey perspective. Now, maybe they're in hibernation right now, but still, like, they are making us nothing, man. I mean, I remember in FS, was it 22 now, I guess? You know, I would have bees often. I like bees. I don't really like them stinging me, but I like bees in person. I think they really matter to the world, right? So I would always put down bees. But, you know, maybe they were a tiny bit overpowered in the previous games. Maybe. But now I feel like they're super underpowered. underpowered, if that makes any sense, right? They're too weak. Especially when I have that many hives out there, and I'm only making a tiny bit of honey, right? I mean, we're getting like not even a full pallet every month with that many hives. It doesn't make any sense. I don't even know why I'm moving this. There's 8 liters. We moved all this in the last episode. I guess I'm just thinking about that we've moved on to the next month, and we haven't. Oh well. Too late now. I've already picked it up, so I might as well take it over here. Now, our goat pen, I believe, is full, by the way. Actually, I think I have to go over here to actually see it, but I'm pretty sure it's full. I don't think there's any more room that can be, or any more room for any more goats to be put into here. Yeah, it's full. So their health's at 20% because they just got full, right? They just had some more babies. You can see some little guys in there running around having a good time. So we're going to put this away. We're going to go pick up the workers' drill that they were doing and bring it over here. Get started on drilling this. I'm not sure what we'll put in here, honestly. I mean, I'm kind of tempted to put canola, but it's probably going to be like a barley or a wheat. I think it makes more sense to do that. So it'll probably be one of those. I'm just going to leave this here for right now. We're kind of just leaving this one all over the place. You know, wherever it was last used, we're just kind of parking it there and letting it go. Okay, so we're going to kill a little bit of corn here again. Unfortunately, that's just the way that it works. That's where the worker ends up with the tractor. So we've been, unfortunately, killing some corn there. But it's not too much. We really won't make that big of a difference, I don't think. Now, the fields we have to spray today. I did not want to put that on a worker. I just was trying to get onto the fields we have to spray today. This field here, the T field, and then this field here. They all need to be sprayed. We'll have more that need to be sprayed, really, as we move along here, because we're not really plowing anything up right now. We've been doing a lot of plowing over the past of getting the fields ready and to the point where we're plowing them. Look at all those beehives, man. That's insanity. That is insanity how little we make. From all of those, there's no way. We would make way more than that. Anyway, I digress. So get the worker set up over here on this field, and then we will take the Volvo and hook up to the sprayer and get started, because we haven't done any spraying in a while, so I'm kind of excited about that. I like doing spraying. I know that's weird. I know most people don't like spraying. Most people also don't like doing fertilizer. I do, for whatever reason. I could do those all day. I don't know why, but they're enjoyable to me. I don't get what it is, but they are. You got the light on? Somehow I had the light on. I don't know how I had the light on or why I had the light on. Maybe the worker had the light on and just didn't turn it off. I would have thought they would have turned it off, though. So we're going to go around the headland here. And probably do another pass up here on this side by the fence. Excuse me, the fence as well. Just to make sure that, the worker has plenty of room to turn around and they're not freaking out or anything. It's poker night for me tonight. It's an exciting time. I feel like most of the time I'm doing this series, it almost always seems to be poker night. I don't know why. It just ends up being that way. Very excited about that. Right now I'm sitting around 20th place out of like 90, 100 people, something like that. It's early on in the session, so still plenty of time, and I did miss 1 week. So I feel like 20th place with missing a week is actually pretty good, right? I'm happy with that performance so far, I guess is how I should put it. So if you're new and you don't know the way that it works, my poker night, not that you came here to listen about poker, but anyway, I just like to talk about stuff. It's a league, right? So you get points depending on where you place each week. And then if you're above a certain line, then you get entered into the free roll that happens at the end of the session. They basically take a small amount of money from each week and put that towards the free roll. So as long as you are above that cut line, or you finish in the top 3 1 week of the 12-week session, you get to go to that free roll and have a chance to potentially make a lot more money. So it's pretty exciting. It's a fun little league, man. There's normally around 60 people every week, but there's about 120 or so people that actually do play on a normal basis. So you kind of have to get there early if you want to play, right? And you do get paid out every week too, right? So they're only taking a small amount from the buy-in every week for that free roll. The rest of the money goes towards that day's session or that day's tournament, that week's tournament. It's a lot of fun. All right, so I'm going to put this on a worker and hope that this is enough room. You know what? They're going to need more fertilizer. They're going to need more fertilizer. There's only 97 left in here. We might as well go ahead and top this off. I mean, it's right here anyway. We got a buying point. It's right here. Speaking of buying points, and speaking of, trying to save some money, I'm going to be a little sneaky, I think, in the one-tile challenge that I'm doing with Crestu and Rusty Money Gaming, which if you haven't checked that out, I highly recommend you do. It's super exciting. The next episode will be out this Saturday, so it should be, well, actually tomorrow, I think, by the time... it's either going to be tomorrow or it's going to be a couple of days ago, one of the two. I'm not sure when this episode's coming out. I don't know if this is coming out the day before, which I think it is, or if it's coming out on that Monday. Either way, it would have either happened a couple of days ago or it's going to be tomorrow. I would highly recommend you check it out. We've been having a lot of fun with it. We've been doing some harmless sabotaging of each other, and it was my turn yesterday to do some harmless sabotaging of Crestu and Rusty Money Gaming. Rusty never noticed it once. Crestu did notice it, and it was a pretty funny thing. So you might want to check that out. I think you'll enjoy it. Where is my sprayer at? It's over here. I forgot where my sprayer was. But yeah, I think you'll enjoy it, so you might want to check that one out. It's pretty funny, man. But they both have put, where I was getting at is they both have put a very similar, if not the same one, a buying silo, or a buying point. Silo is not the right word. Buying point in on their farms. And are you good? Are you good, buddy? I feel like you're okay. They put buying points on their farms, so I think I'm going to be sneaky, and instead of spending my own money to put one down, I'm just going to go over to theirs and buy from theirs. It's not going to matter, right? Unless they catch me and then they yell at me and say you can't do that, because we're kind of doing this together, right? It's my initial idea to get this, spun up. The one-tile challenge initially was my idea to begin with. The very first one, which was not multiplayer competitive. The second one that we're doing is, right? But at the same time, we all want to make sure we agree on everything we're doing, right? I don't want to be, or make it seem like I'm a kind of a dictator or something like that on the one-tile challenge, because I certainly am not. I'm just, I'm wanting to have some fun and have a little bit of a competition and a challenge between the three of us. So what I'm trying to get at is, I don't think they're going to say anything about it, but maybe they will. Maybe they say that I need to buy my own buying point. Let's just keep that between us in case they're not watching today. Let's just keep that one between us and see how long it takes before they realize I'm doing that. Heck, they might notice it as soon as I do it. Just drive on over there and buy from their buying point and drive on back. At least got to attempt to try it, right? At least see if there's any angst against it, or if anybody yells at me about it. Now, those buying points, they're not that expensive, but it is going to save me a little bit of money if I just pop on over to Rusty more specifically than anyone else, because he's the closest to me, and just buy from his buying point. So I think I'm going to try it, and we'll just see what happens. We'll just see what happens. Each of us have some some little sneaky ideas and things to add. My sneaky idea right off the front, and they've now caught on to it, was the chickens in the greenhouse, which... bit of a spoiler there, I guess, if you haven't watched the first episode, but watch it if you haven't. I put in a mod. I installed a mod. Didn't tell them about it. Where it basically repurposes an old greenhouse, and it's like a chicken coop. So that's what I did. That was my little sneak trick into the into the game itself. There have been some other tricks that we've kind of, told each other about. And when we say it's a trick, it's like just a one-day kind of trick. It's a one-episode type of thing. And then we tell each other about it, right? We want it to be competitive. We want it to be fun. But we want to just see if anybody notices it. Just kind of having a little fun with it, if you will. And that was mine, was putting in that chicken coop that is repurposing a greenhouse. I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's going to be very, very successful for us. I think it's going to make us a lot of eggs and a lot of money. I learned something the other day, which I don't remember if I talk about it or not in the episode. I don't think I do. So maybe I'll hold on to that little tidbit of knowledge, and you'll have to stay tuned, and you can learn what that is soon enough. I am behind for sure on this one. This is something I did not know was a thing. It's evidently a thing to the map. It's not anything specific that they either asked to get installed or anything like that. But it's something that we're going to have to consider putting in the future. Don't think we really have the money for it at the time of the new episode that's getting ready to come out, but maybe soon enough we will. So this field's sprayed and done. We've got to get those other 2 fields done, and then we can kind of see where the worker's at as far as doing the drilling. And before we head on to the next one, I'm actually going to jump over here and see how the worker's doing. Excuse me. Seems like they're still doing okay. They're just turning at like a snail's pace for some reason. I'm not really sure I understand that, but, what do I know? Anyway, let's get these other 2 fields sprayed, huh? Alright, all of those are done. We don't actually have a ton else to do today, honestly, gang. I think I'm going to look at that goat cheese. I don't remember. I feel like it's already passed quite a while ago, the best time to sell them, but it's January. Right now, it's not terrible, actually. At the SPAC Trans, it's actually better than the average best. So I think we're going to sell those today, gang. I just think that, I'd be remiss if we didn't do that when it's the best price to do it right now anyway, especially with only a couple of episodes remaining in the series. We're probably not going to get to the January marker where it's the best time to sell it, according to that price chart. We'll continue to use the steer here. Why not? We haven't used this for a bit. Glad I left the skid steer over here. Makes it easy for us to be able to get this loaded up, hopefully. There should be quite a few, actually, in here. And when I say in here, I mean the actual production itself should have quite a few. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. How much are in here? 1,000. So there's one more that'll spawn. But still, 4 of them, that's going to be pretty good money. I mean, you can see it there. $15,427 per pallet. I mean, that's huge money, gang. We're going to get 60 grand out of this. It's insane. It's insane. Absolutely insane. Whoops. There's a bit of an incline here, and then it was kind of screwing me up there, so let me try to realign this here a minute. I'd like to get 2 of them on there at a time, if it'll let me do it. I know I've had issues with this in the past of trying to do that, but... Perfect. hopefully that other one spawns right next to that one. Hopefully it's not spawning far away from it, so it's easy for us to pick up 2 again. Perfect. Right next to it. That's what I like to see. 60 grand incoming just from these goat cheese. That's crazy, man. You know, this makes me think maybe we should install this production. Well, there's probably other productions we can use, actually, that we have installed, so maybe not this exact one, but kind of makes me think that maybe we should be doing goats on that one-tile challenge here. Because if we're going to make that kind of money off of this goat cheese, aged goat cheese, but at the same time, I think this is a specific production for that aged goat cheese, right? I'm not sure if aged goat cheese is an actual thing in the game. I don't think I've ever paid attention to see if it's actually a one that is standard or not. I don't know. I guess we'll find out, but yeah, I might have to consider some goats here. I was thinking of maybe doing sheep on the one-tile challenge, but maybe goats are the way to go. That seems like a lot more money. Now, I know I can take, you know, the sheep wool and turn that into clothes and things like that, but fabric and clothes, etc. But, yeah, that might be the way to go. That's something I'm going to be thinking about for the next week here, before the next, well, not even the next week, before, until Tuesday. Tuesday's when we're doing the recordings for that series, but it's not actually released, unless you're a member, of course. It's not actually released for you to watch until Saturday. So, all right, I'm going to be thinking about that one. What do we got going on here? Looks like there's some kind of accident that happened up here. There's all, I mean, now look at this guy. Look at Byron over here. What is going on with these morons? 2 Walters just running into each other like a bunch of idiots, and then they can't figure it out. And then Byron was just like, you know what? I'm going to bypass everyone. And now he's blocking the other lane. What a disaster. You can't trust those people, I'll tell you what. Those people. You can't trust those cars, I tell you what. Those people. Definitely meant cars, not people. Cars. Alright, let's see here. Somewhere in this vicinity. Oh, I got 2 of them sold. $41,000 out of 2. We're going to get 80 grand out of this? Are you shitting me? 80 grand? This is exciting, man. Holy cow. Okay, where's my sell point at? Why am I not hitting my sell point? There we go. That is insanity. We got $83,000 out of that. That is absolutely insane, man. That is OP to another level. Holy smokes. That's the key, man. That's the winner. We need to figure out a way to get them agreed to put this in as a mod. That is a huge brainwave for us right there. Oh my goodness. $83,000 off some goat milk. Now, to be fair, it is a slow-moving process, right? That's been multiple months of saving up those pallets. But still, that is huge money, man. Huge money. We might have ourselves the key here. We just might have ourselves the key. Well, that's something for me to think about for that other series. But for this one, we're going to leave it at this point. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, smash that like, subscribe button on the case you've yet to do so. They are free to do. They help me out an absolute ton if you do so. Thoughts, questions, comments, ideas, let me know down below. Thank you to my 10 members. Cannot thank you guys enough. There's a link down below, as I mentioned before, if you want access to videos early like this one, including the competitive one-tile challenge. Maybe go check that out. Yeah. Discord's down there. My other channel is down there, which is not Farming Simulator or simulation in general related. So if you're interested in other type of video games that are not Farming Simulator or simulation related, maybe give that a follow or give that a check. Maybe it'd be something you're interested in. Let me know. Yeah, I think that's all I got. Thanks for watching, gang. Thanks for your continued support. It means the world. I'll see you next time.